Hey there, hopefuls, and welcome back to season 2 of the Hopeful Simplicity podcast. We're going to continue with our 15-minute finds to build on those small space successes and talk more about some common organizing situations, questions, and topics. I can't wait to continue to simplify, sort, and sustain our organized and less stressed lives together. So let's jump in. Today's 15-minute find is taking us into the kitchen. Small appliances. Those are kind of like the level up for gadgets and gizmos for me. It's the good intention buys of the small appliance or little tool that may help, then come home and sit. So today I want you to simplify and declutter any small appliances that are just taking up space. And I don't want you to look at it with like, I spent a lot of money on this. I'm not going to get rid of it because you've already spent it. You probably used it once or twice when you brought it home because it was really going to make things easier, or you were really excited about it, or you spent this money, so I'm going to do it, darn it. But now those small appliances are just taking up space. And you're probably, possibly, maybe frustrated when you have to chunk it aside. Like, let me move that over to get to this other thing. Let me lift this heavy thing off the shelf, clunk, 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 right out of the cabinet onto the counter. And it just doesn't get used. If it's collecting dust, taking up space, and it's a small appliance, that's what I want you to simplify out of your homes. Now set those timers and tune in as we talk about today's organizing topic.
Hey Melissa, quick question. What's the best container to help keep me organized?
Today's topic is brought to you by the monthly membership group. Are you looking for guidance along your organizing journey? Ready to get some answers to your organization questions, or even just looking for some accountability in achieving your goals? The monthly membership group can help with all of that and more. To see if the group is the right fit for you, find details and clips at hopefulsimplicity.com.
Containers are an unhealthy obsession for me, and I'm so glad this question came up. So what's the best container is whatever fits your style. What actually will work for you moving forward. But when we started this adventure of organizing here at Hopeful Simplicity, containers actually became a clutter point for me because I love them. I think they are helpful tools. I can use them wherever. They come in so many different shapes and sizes and colors and options. And what if this one doesn't work? Let me just go ahead and get this one too while I'm here is a reality in my former shopping for containers life. I say former because I am doing much better. But yeah, I love containers. But when I get asked of what container to get, I never know how to answer it unless I really know that person. Unless I really know, oh, okay, I know you're a macro person and this is going in the family room. And most of your family might not want to see all this stuff because they're more non-visual. So we're going to go with this type of container. We're going to go with like a solid color, a neutral color, a solid non-see-through container without a lid. Maybe a bin or a basket with a liner. But without knowing your personal style, getting the question of what container should I use, what's the best container, is really unanswerable in a way. Now, do I have my tops? Of course. Do I have my favorites? Absolutely. Heck, even some of them are from the dollar. They get the cute little like bubble square containers at the Dollar Tree. That's where, like, that's the closest dollar type store near me. And they're cute. And I have them everywhere. I know I can put zip ties through them and hang them outside for the summer stuff. I know they're perfect for lidless options in kiddos' room. They're just great. And they have like the same top and bottom size so it doesn't get narrower like when you toss stuff in. I just love it. I just love it. So yeah, of course there are some of the favorites. Some that I'm always like, you can start here. And I think that might be what's the best container to keep me organized is maybe try something first. I remember I was working with a client and they wanted to redo their closet. And I had shown them my son's closet and years ago, and I mean years ago, like math is hard, but we switched him to a no fold system. So we got these bins. They're like 11 by 11 lidless bins. They're white cloth. They're pretty solid. Like, I'm kind of jealous that I didn't have them in my room. And we have those. So he can just toss his stuff in. He's a teenager right now. He doesn't, like, wrinkles is a minor detail. I'm excited. He's got clothes on and they don't have too many holes in them. So years ago, we switched it because that's how he's going to maintain. Drawers, hangers, those were not going to be a thing. And I showed my client these bins and his system. He has 8. It's all no fold systems. His suits and his uniforms are hanging. I will say that I do that. His like suit and tie, jacket, pants, those are hanging. But that's about it. Everything else is no fold and in these bins. And then when I showed her that, she's like, "Oh, I need them." And I was like, "Okay, but hang on. Let's make sure that system will work in your space." And I just happened to know, like, when we were having the conversation, I just happened to know that they just got like some stuff in from Amazon in medium-ish size boxes. I was like, "Go ahead, cut the flaps off that or fold them in, cover it in contact paper if you want so they're all the same color." Because she's kind of non-visual in that space. So go ahead and cover it in some contact paper and use what you have to create a temporary home before you go out and buy the right container for this space. I love going to the Dollar Tree because sometimes I don't have a box handy and I'm like, let me go find something that I'm not going to be pissed off about for spending this money if it does or does not work. There's something about going and buying a fancy container, like the best container in my mind from the fancy craft store that costs $20, $24. I get it home and then it doesn't work. That makes me mad. So I was like, what's the best container? Why don't you use a temporary one first? Oh, you have some Amazon boxes? Do you have some that are the same size-ish that you can make work for a week and see, oh, okay, this works. Or you use that temporary dollar store container for a couple weeks. This works, but I might need to shift it to this. This works, but I actually have an extra inch on each side, so let me see if I can find a container that's a little bigger. The same concept, just a little bigger, and will maximize the organization options in this space. The best container will be what fits your style and what fits the space. What can fit in this space for what I need it to hold to the best ability. If I have a 12-inch by 12-inch gap on a shelf, I'm going to look for a 11.5 by 11.5 container. I need that 1/2 inch to put my finger in and pull the box out. Maybe you don't. Maybe it's got a handle on the front. But you want to look for maximizing something that works for your home team's organizing success. I know if something fits my style and I'm organizing in the living room, it's not going to be a thing. It's not the best container to use for that space because it's a shared space. So I have to get containers without lids to maximize the space's ability for all of us to stay organized. Because I'm very micro. I'm good with lids. I'm good with multiple lids, grabbing the container and putting it back wherever it goes. But I also know living with a macro organizer, it's just going to be put on top of the container or on the shelf next to the container stacks. So the best container will be what's going to work for you, what's going to work for your home team, and doesn't match the compromised style if it's a shared space, or doesn't match your personal organizing style. That's what the best container is matching what will work best for you.
Today's episode was sponsored by the Organising Style Quiz. Personal organising styles can vary from person to person and space to space. Determining your style for success is the first step towards simplifying, sorting and sustaining an organised life. Grab your complimentary quiz online today.
And that's it for today. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share this with all of your favorite friends. And until next time, stay hopeful.